He was still slouching.
Yeah, I was half slouching.
Yeah.
Oh, is that like having the flag at half-mast?
Yeah. I'm half interested. Hey, everybody, welcome to Back Issue of Sal.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Ben.
Today we are going to discuss Justice League of America and WildCATs from 1997. WildCATs?
WildCATs!
They're zeros, not heroes.
First thing I noticed.
No, Sal, that's not how the song goes.
It's not how the song goes, that's true.
First thing I noticed, Blue Electric Superman.
Electric Blue Superman 1997
The
ruined
first book we've done with Electric Blue
with
Superman.
true blue Superman, and let me tell you, it factors in no way to the story, and I think there is like one reference to
he's
it.
in it, right?
He is in it, but he's still Superman.
Right. He doesn't use his electric power.
Nor does he like call back to what's happening in this.
Well, they wouldn't because they want to. This is Superman now. It's not weird. Like, this is just the new normal for Superman, right? We're not,
right.
It's not like
we're not treating it like it's
not
totally
like the guy
bizarre.
on the bottom.
That's Maul.
I was like, could you move your thumb, please?
I need to know who
Try to
Maul
read
is.
his name.
Just in case you don't know, if you ever get a copy of this, on the back it gives you a little handy guide of who
'cause
everyone is.
Otherwise, you wouldn't know who they are because it's the WildCats.
Well, it's the WildCats and this blue asshole on the Justice League, so like I don't know who any of these people are.
Well, that's the thing. It's not like they're like, why do you have a blue guy? Why do you have a giant purple guy?
Fair enough. What's hilarious is there's also a Superman analog on the team of WildCats, and he's more Superman than Superman. And then he meets Superman, and Superman's like he out Supermans that Superman. And it's like,
wow,
what the fuck? And what's amazing is it's written by Grant Morrison.
this book?
Yes.
No.
And Grant Morrison,
awesome.
my guess is because he was writing Justice League, and he's like, but I'm writing the Justice League, and they're like, well, we're doing this shitty crossover with Image right now. And he's like,
So
well, then I guess I gotta.
Someone else will.
Yeah. Well, then I guess I gotta do a crossover with the WildCats. The story opens, and it's in the past, and Wally West is the Flash in 1997, but in the past, he was Kid Flash. And so we're in the past, and Wally West is being Kid Flash, just running through a cow pasture, and then he gets tripped up by Epoch, Lord of Time, a character that was created in, like, the 60s.
Oh,
and
I've never heard of him.
In the 60s, they were like, yeah, bad guy, access to time travel, he'll use time travel to facilitate his evil deeds, but also won't use time travel in, like, an obvious way where he, like, goes back in time and, like, kills children that would eventually become superheroes. So Epoch shows up, and he's got liquid metal all over his body, and he's ready to morph it into a gun, because unlike the T-1000, which, of course, could not form conflict with machines because it had chemicals and moving parts. It doesn't react that way. But with this, it does.
Well, this is like the Terminatrix.
This is
The
literally
TX! Ugh, yes, and it is.
Oh, no, the TX had the mechanicals underneath.
Yes, she could approximate
yeah.
human flesh.
If there was a gun under there and it was just covered with liquid metal, then it would be the TX.
Yeah, in fact, I think that some comic books actually did things where they would send human resistance fighters back in time, and they, like, sewed guns into their bodies.
Oh.
And they'd be like, ugh, they'd hurt themselves and get their gun out and be like, okay, now I can fight a Terminator without having to crush it in a hydraulic press.
I have a question, though. What happened to the organs where that gun was?
Right, well, it's just superficial. It's just slight. It's under a slight, like,
it's where your
canvas
appendix
of...
was.
Yeah, there
You
you
had
go.
their appendix
We
removed
took your
and they
appendix
still
out,
do-
we swapped it out with a plasma rifle.
Look, if you could fit a baby inside you,
Yeah.
like, and move the organs around, you could fit a gun inside you.
A handgun, maybe.
That's
not a
it.
plasma
It's
rifle.
not a. It was not a rifle. In any case, Epoch, Lord of Time, is this shitty Kang character.
I was gonna say it sounds like King
Pre-Kang.
the Conqueror. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but before Kang.
And also DC.
And also DC.
And also DC. But he sucks. And Grant Morrison, of course, wants to prove that he, like, knows everything and remembers all this shit. So he pulls Lord of Time, Epoch. Oh, look, it's Epoch. Remember him? No, Grant, I don't. Oh, you don't? You don't remember, do you?
You see, I had the string in my room that traveled way across the room to him.
Exactly. So Epoch's like, yeah, I'm going to use my time travel abilities to go back in time and kill the Justice League before they're actually
Well, I
effective.
thought you said he doesn't do that kind of shit.
Yeah, no, he didn't. But
No,
now
no,
Grant
not
Morrison's
when they
writing
were-
him, so
not
he
when they were
does.
babies.
Right.
Did he have a code that said he wouldn't do that, or he just never thought of it?
The writers were like, well, if he did that, then he'd win. We have to come up with another reason for him to do it.
Time travel's way OP. We have to just have him not do that.
Yeah. When I first read this, It starts in the fucking middle. Epoch, Lord of Time. Who's that? Fuck you. Jumps in the middle. He goes back in time. He's going to kill Wally West, the Kid Flash. But the Justice League shows up. The Justice League has access to time? That's right, they do. They can go back in time too, just like Epoch. How? Fuck you. So anyway, they go and they fight Epoch. And then Epoch decides he's going to, because he has augmentations that he stole from the future to go back in time and kill the Justice League in the past, he uses this, like, solar radiation funneling device within his liquid metal body that can, like, pull solar radiation from the future of our sun when it turns red, thereby converting red solar radiation, and then he uses it to fire at Superman because he's going to then depower Superman because Superman gets his powers from Earth's yellow sun, and if it was Kryptonian,
red sun will
revert him back to, like, a human or regular Kryptonian. But it don't work because it's electric blue Superman. Ho ho! Grant Morrison's using that new power that Superman's got.
Yeah. Seems like Epoch should have known this since he came from the future.
Right? Except he didn't. Literally, Superman just absorbs the radiation or whatever. He's like, doesn't work like that anymore.
It does make him gassy now.
Probably. I'm blue now. I'm electric.
I don't know what that
boogie,
means.
Woogie, woogie, and you don't have any power. So then he's like, well, bye, and then Epoch just leaves. He just disappears into time.
Well, I can't beat Superman if this doesn't work, so...
so I have to go and try something else. So
back
he leaves.
to square one.
Yep, so he leaves, and then the Justice League goes to their time cube, which they're using to transport themselves through time and follow Epoch. Has
there ever been a time cube before?
Yes, but...
Okay.
But at least there's a time... But, like, if you don't know, then you're just like, where'd they get this cube? Well, don't worry. They don't bother to explain where it came from, how they got access to it, or, like, when they started using it. All we know is Epoch suddenly gets a wild hair up his ass to start, like, fucking with the Justice League through time, and the Justice League finds out about it, and then goes and does something about it. And you're like, and maybe it happened in the pages of actual Justice League, and that's why Grant Morrison's calling back to it. Like, maybe it happened. Maybe, like, because DC liked to do that, where in JLA Avengers, right, the Justice League meets the Avengers, and all hell breaks loose, and Krona almost ruins everything, just like he created the multiverse by seeing the universe be birthed by potentially Dr. Manhattan. And at the end of it, the Justice League remembers that whole crossover, and Marvel makes no reference to it.
Right.
And so when Krona is, like, reborn into, like, a chronal egg, the Justice League takes it with them to the DC Universe, and they're like, well, we better guard it. And you're like, you remember... What? You're going to refer to this shit? And so Grant Morrison...
the Marvel Universe is a universe within the DC Universe.
Yes.
It's part of the multiverse.
It's one of the 52! It could be that Grant Morrison, like, settled this up so that it could be paid off in this random-ass crossover that would never be collected with any of it because it's the intercompany crossover, which means the proceeds have to go to two different companies. But what's ironic about that is that WildCATs was created by Jim Lee, who would eventually become president of DC Comics, but before that would sell Wildstorm Studios, his intellectual properties, to DC Comics. So while JLA WildCATs is a crossover with DC and Image, it's actually just a DC book. And it features a team that doesn't matter and is actually folded in continuity to the DC Universe. When we meet the WildCATs, it's as a result of, like, interdimensional bullshit, and then it's like, or you just say that you knew them.
Yeah, they were over there.
They were actually here the whole time.
They were here the whole time. Like,
they were just off panel.
Not only were they here the whole time, you've met them before. You know
who
them.
They are.
Personally. So you have to divorce yourself from the idea that WildCATs are just some bullshit team that DC doesn't care about or do anything with in continuity.
Right, because
imagine that it's 1997 and there's a crazy intercompany crossover and holy shit.
So you have to imagine it's 20 years ago.
Yeah, so then you're treated to this fucking annoying montage of the Justice League beating Epoch in random points in history. And then Epoch's like, I lost then? No problem, it's 1428 AD, and now I'm here, and I'll fight you there. And then they fight him in 401 BC, and you're like, and now they're in... And then they go into the far-flung future of a year ago, in 2016. And so they're blinking all over the place. And then finally they wind up in 65 million years ago.
What? So they can fight dinosaurs and shit?
It's Jurassic Park, right?
There's no dinosaurs.
This is the story 65 million years
in the making. Yeah.
Maybe it's right after the dinosaurs died?
What's funny is they get to 65 million years ago, and that's when Epoch capitalizes on this tear in like space-time that happened 65 million years ago.
Was that what killed the dinosaurs?
Possibly. It's just basically like a dark nova event. And that's what either killed the dinosaurs or spawned like sentient life on Earth. You know,
okay. More sentient than dinosaurs.
Right. Well, yeah, dinosaurs like they ate. They're chickens. They do one thing. They do three things. They eat, sleep, and make little chickens.
I thought that was sharks.
That too. It's a perfect engine of destruction. But anyway, so Epoch figures out that he can feed on this dark nova that's happening 65 million years ago, and then like basically absorbs it and becomes his actual namesake, which is Lord of Time. Basically, so Epoch
becomes Lord of Time. You mean he starts calling himself that?
He actually always called himself that, but now he actually lives up to it.
Maybe he called himself that because he always knew he would become Lord of Time, and if time's irrelevant, then
then it's like he always knew that he would become.
See, I went to the future and I saw that I had been called Lord of Time.
So I'm gonna start calling myself that now.
No, it's like Dr. Manhattan, who's like, here's the thing: the past, the present, and the
it's
future.
It's all one thing.
I see it all as one.
Yeah.
So like, it happened. It's happening. It already happened.
Don't tell me it didn't happen.
Well,
I saw it happen and I watched.
I'm seeing it happen right now.
It's happening to me.
But he doesn't perceive time all at once. He just can move between times. He's not Dr. Manhattan.
No.
This guy.
Yeah, he does not perceive time as one thing.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not Dr. Manhattan.
Nor as a hunter.
God damn it.
You can get off this couch. You and your
You were real quick with that Generations reference.
What power does he get from the Nova? Like,
right?
Specifically, what can he do now that he could not do before?
Well, now I am Lord of Time.
What's amazing... he was Lord of Time before. What's amazing is he actually gives you like a really half-assed, hand-wavy explanation through sentence fragments where he just says, energy streaming backwards through time, anti-tachyons, absorbed through the war suit that I have now, and, now I'm as powerful as God! And you're like, what? So you're just saying a bunch of bullshit.
Yep.
And that's your way, because he's processing it so fast, he doesn't have time to explain it to you.
Right, it's so much power.
But take my word for it.
I'm amazed he didn't say the word quantum.
No.
Right? He does say tachyons, though.
He does say tachyons.
He says anti-tachyons.
Anti-tachyons.
Ooh, that's like antimatter.
Yeah,
that
or anti-protons.
Sense, but...
So...
Anti-proton is a thing. Tachyon is just a particle that moves faster than light.
And he uses it to become
What's an
Lord of Time.
anti-tachyon?
Well, this is a
Use
particle.
it to go back in time.
This is an anti-particle that moves faster than
Well, it was a
speed of
dark
light.
nova that he got them from anyway, so, you know. Anyway, they blow out the tranny in their time machine while they're chasing him, and so they're stuck in AD 33, where they started. Like,
Son of a bitch.
and so they're like, damn it. So then they're like, okay, cool. We're trapped here. But, like, Earth is usually a dumping ground from all kinds of interstellar and time/dimensional beings. So, like, so Superman will fly around one end of the world using his X-ray vision, and Green Lantern will fly around the other end of the world with his ring to find any chronal, like, pieces of technology that are, like, left behind in the Earth that they could use as a substitute for it.
Oh, that's great.
And
I'm sure there's something sitting around.
They find like 7 things that like they're like, oh, that was cool, but it wasn't what we need. And then eventually they find it and they piss off these.
Here it is, a replacement transmission.
Yeah, well, it was okay. So it's not obviously it's not transmission,
No,
but it's
I'm
a chronal transmission. It's actually a drive unit, but yes.
Oh, a drive unit.
But what's great is Batman's like, find it and I'll put it in and I'll figure it out. And they're like, Batman knows how to install a time machine drive unit? No one asked that question because Grant Morrison's writing it and Batman can do anything. I'm surprised Batman didn't dive headfirst into the Dark Nova and become a god like unto himself and then just outwit or prep time the shit out of Epoch and defeat him that way.
So how many pages are we in here and the WildCATs still
haven't
fucking
shown up?
appeared?
5.
Okay. Oh, wow. Wow, they got a lot of stuff done in 5 pages.
No,
Okay.
so basically we needed to stall the Justice League because they've been literally like following him immediately.
Yeah.
So they're there for a few hours. They install the drive. They go back to the present. When they get there, it's fucked up, and it's the universe where the WildCATs exist. The point is,
So he got away.
the point is that instead of him going to a place they could follow, he goes like further into the future and gets more information, and basically just starts using cheat sheets throughout time to figure out how to defeat the Justice League and also how to like muck with dimensionality. And so he creates the reality where the WildCATs are, and so welcome WildCATs. Here's everyone you recognize, plus Majestic.
Like Shinobi. And a combination of Omega Red and Red Sonja.
Yeah. Zealot and Void and Maul and Grifter. And if you were a old school WildCATs fan, you'd be like, where's Spartan? Well, who cares? Because he was replaced by an alien who had a wife and kid who came from a doomed planet. And his name's Majestic, and he's the Superman analog. What's even funnier about this is that, like, when it becomes folded into the DC universe, like, eventually Superman's gonna, like, leave, and then Majestic will take his place and just, like, be Superman for a little while. Like,
oh, wow.
So he goes from analog to, like, literal replacement Superman. But Majestic is there, too, and he's kind of, like, leading the team, even though he has the least amount of experience with the team. So...
But he's the most powerful, so...
Naturally, yes.
It's like, I'm leading the team, and if you don't want me to, well, I'll just fucking kill you.
Exactly. So. And what's hilarious is, like, so you guys probably don't even know what the WildCATs are, and the WildCATs are
not really,
just a dumb X-Men ripoff team that Jim Lee created after he quit drawing the X-Men.
Wait, you mean we have Gambit and Beast or Colossus,
right?
Jean Grey. I want to say Cyclops.
Well, he came later. That's Majestic is just a Superman thing. Like,
all right.
But Spartan was like the Cyclops type character.
Wolverine,
but it's a girl. And
also, wouldn't this be Hulk?
Well, it's more Hulk. It's more Hulk, but it's like if you're talking about X-Men analogs.
Oh.
By the way, they will eventually do, and I think it's before this, they do a X-Men WildCATs crossover.
Zealot could be Psylocke.
Yes, and that's actually more appropriate. They all have really interesting histories. Like Grifter was more like a... Grifter was like a war vet. Like, he has no real powers, just like he's the best there is at what he does. Like, and actually, there was a Wolverine character, but he's not here.
Oh yeah, the guy with the claws.
Warblade.
That's it.
He's not here. This is the second iteration of the WildCATs. Oh. So the worst of it is you got the Justice League and the WildCATs. You don't even have the A-Team WildCATs.
Right. It's not even the WildCATs that the WildCATs fans.
It's WildCATs.
Yeah, it's like some of the WildCATs.
Is it like a post-apocalyptic? Like,
right now it is. It didn't used
reality?
to be. It was when the WildCATs first started. It was more like an analog to today, but with more like government, like covert shit. Because Grifter was like a member of basically like a SEAL team called Team 7, and Team 7 was like basically like the team from Predator, but they also had superpowers.
Okay. Whoa.
And they were
I want to watch that movie now.
Yeah, Team 7 was a really baller book, and it's totally worth reading. And like some of the parents from Gen 13, like the kids from Gen 13, their parents were on Team 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I used to believe I when I was first reading Gen 13, I was like, I think Grifter, because Grifter's kind of old actually, and like his powers kind of like staved it off. But like I always theorized that Grifter was the dad of one of the members of Gen 13. I was wrong, but anyway. The Justice League shows up, and the WildCATs are like, oh, no. Because the idea is that what they're fighting are all, like, costumed monsters. Yeah. So when the Justice League shows up, like, crap, just better-looking costume monsters. So then
they look like it might be hard to fight.
Yes. So they immediately, like, have their crossover fight.
Yep.
And what's hilarious is... Grifter is a dude with guns, and Batman is a dude who hates guns, so obviously we have to have them fight.
Yeah.
But because Grant Morrison loves Batman first punches Maul in the face really fast, because Maul's the most powerful one. And then Batman and, like, Grifter have, like, a dick measuring contest, where basically Grifter's like, you can't beat me, Batman, I'll just shoot you, and Batman just takes his guns away. And he's like, alright, you could easily kick my ass. You know what? Neither of us... You know what? Let's sit down and talk. So they do.
What? No one wants to see us fight.
Yeah.
Why don't we just hash this out?
You know what?
Like
Nobody wants to see this crossover anyway, so let's just get it over with.
We should have a battle of wits instead. I'm the greatest detective in the world.
Oh.
Damn it.
Well, then you're way OP, I gotta say.
Well, that just seems really unfair.
Batman's like, it's been said.
I know. So, well, I was in a war. We'll do trauma surgery, because I can do that.
I know that, yeah. I know how to deal with that.
I could be a surgeon.
Yeah, I have the hands of a safecracker, or an expert surgeon, or a concert pianist. So
he's just like, what the fuck?
Damn it! So yeah.
Also, Grifter's smoking through his mask.
He pushes it to the side.
Oh. I thought he literally just pushed the mask into his mouth a little bit.
He's got a little hole in the mask.
Yeah, just for smoking. No, it's literally
my cool hole.
It's just so like you can see the mask.
Yeah. Because you got to see that mask.
Because that mask is key to all of it.
But you also got to see his smoking. Because smoking is also
Smoking is cool, and so is his mask. We have to see both, but we also know that if we cut a hole out of it, he will lose all mystique.
Yeah.
Well, if you cut a hole out of it, no, it's just a blowjob mask.
Exactly. But at least it's kosher. So, because you can do anything as long as through the hole in the mask. So then Flash...
Are you eating pork?
So then Batman and Grifter, like, knock it off.
Yeah.
Superman punches... Majestic like through a building. Void and Flash fight because like Flash is fast but Void can teleport.
Okay.
And so they do.
Yeah.
Like and then they stop. Like literally they fight for a few minutes or for a few panels and then he goes, "Wait a minute. We should just talk to each other instead of fighting." And you're like, "What?"
What?
And then you get to Maul and Green Lantern.
Because they're both green.
Yes. And Maul fights Green Lantern.
And it's really confusing and hard to follow.
Because they're both green.
Color. Yeah.
And what's interesting about Maul's powers is like he's like a big dude, right? But he's also like not an idiot. Unless he grows. Because Maul's powers are he can get bigger. But the bigger he gets, the
dumber he gets.
That's
his brain stays the same size.
And if he gets so big that he's like the size of like a skyscraper, he won't be able to be smart enough to know how to revert back to normal size until he'll become like a rampaging monster.
Oh.
So it's a way to have the Hulk and eat it too.
I always have to watch how big I get.
Yes, exactly. Like, whoa, I'm getting too big, nerp.
It's such a minor variation on the Hulk. It's like...
It's just distinct enough to
like,
be my own thing.
What if the Hulk gradually became dumb and gradually became big?
Yes.
But other than that, it's the
same thing.
Goddamn thing.
Like, well, Maul isn't also like a super scientist. There's a couple things.
Oh, okay. All right.
I also imagine, like, while
so
he's really strong, like, he's not impervious.
Yes.
Like, the Hulk
like if he shoots himself in the head, he just
you
fucking
can't,
dies.
Yeah, like, if you fired the Hulk into the sun, there's, like, a 65% chance he'll, like, smash his way through it. With Maul, it's like he'll just die. So, then we see the fight that I guess Grant Morrison thinks we all want to see, which is Wonder Woman versus Zealot.
Well, yeah.
And what's interesting is, like, Zealot's actually the most like Wonder Woman because, like, she comes from the Coda Warriors of an island of warrior women. So it's like, oh, it's the mascara. Like, wow. So they fight, and it's interesting because Wonder Woman, like, gives her a really hard time because Zealot's using swords, and Wonder Woman's, like, using implements of death, and you don't need to.
I sneezed.
So this Wonder Woman has a problem with swords.
Yes.
Unlike
every Wonder Woman after her, who is like, I use swords, shields, I snap necks. What are you talking about? Yeah, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
So
I'm a warrior.
Yeah, this one's like
I'm a fucking soldier. Like, what do you?
Yeah. No, this one's like, no. Like, she calls Zealot a coward for using like instruments of death, and so then they put down their weapons.
You have a rope around your waist.
Yeah, she's not using it though.
It could be a noose.
Yes, it could. But anyway, they fight.
She never did that. Right?
You're asking if they've ever done a Wonder Woman comic in which Wonder Woman fashions a noose out of her lasso of truth and then hangs someone by the neck until dead.
Yes.
No, they've never done that. Green Lantern basically gets his ass kicked by Maul, and then Batman takes a break from his R&R with Grifter to defeat Maul. So then Batman just boxes Maul's ears, and then Wonder Woman and Zealot fight until they stop. And then they're like, okay, now that we fought, we can stop fighting and talk to each other and team up.
We've proven we're both really good.
And then Superman and Majestic destroy a building fighting, and they go, aha, we've destroyed a building fighting, we may now stop fighting and team up. And you're like, what are you doing, Grant Morrison? And it could be that he's deconstructing the entire stupid intercompany crossover.
Because that's effectively what happens in every crossover.
Yes, but he's also
like, let's dispense with the pretense.
And also make it look really stupid. Because really it is stupid anyway, isn't it? So they all team up and they're like, wow, WildCATs, your universe sucks. And they're like, fuck you. And then they team up.
This is just your universe.
So then they fight the monsters that the WildCATs were going to fight anyway. They defeat all of them.
I'm sorry, did the monsters just hang out on the side and watch?
No, they were just rampaging throughout the city.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
While the heroes did nothing.
Bingo. No, they didn't do nothing. They fought each other and caused a lot of collateral damage. So then they all save the day, and then they're like, okay, we need to help you fix your own timeline, and they also don't think that they're going to get unmade. So they're
the
like...
Justice League is just like, yeah, probably, you won't get unmade.
I'm sure they don't even bring it up. But they're like, yeah, let's do it. So they all team up, and then they figure out how they're going to, like, battle Epoch, and the way they're going to figure it out is Void can teleport herself into like the space between spaces and stuff. Like she doesn't have to just go like to places. She can go to like
she can go nowhere.
Yeah. So she takes Green Lantern there, and they get some information they needed in order to figure out how to like get special get special permissions from that which guard the space between time.
So this is a thing that Grant Morrison is inventing right here, right now.
What? Yes. They're willing to like give them information they need in order to facilitate their success.
But you must fight first.
But they must give them new ideas they've never seen before. And so Green Lantern being, a part of Green Lantern's whole thing is like, yes, he can create hard-like constructs out of his lantern and his ring, but only the most like strong of will and imaginative can be the most effective Green Lantern. So if Kyle Rayner, the newest and best Green Lantern, is worthy of being Green Lantern, and he's also like an artist, he should have the biggest and greatest ideas. And so he thinks of a random like top, a monkey with symbols, and this vice.
Yep.
And the entities are satisfied, and so they are left to do their own devices.
The entities don't go, what the hell? Are you kidding me?
Are you shitting me? I know what a vice is. And are you talking about one of those fucking monkeys with symbols that was invented in like 1918?
I'll have you know, this is a rock and roll Martian.
Sweet MST3K reference. Both of them are going to really appreciate it. But yeah, it's just like, god damn it. Like,
that sucks.
That sucks. And I'm sure...
What about my cool top?
And it could be that Grant Morrison said...
Your top would not work. It would fall over in 3 seconds.
And it could be that, like, Grant Morrison tells the artist, like, draw the most imaginative thing you can think of. And he draws these 3 pieces of shit.
Just like, what the fuck does that even mean?
So the artist is just giving Grant the finger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck off, Morrison.
They get their information... They update their time cube.
What is their information?
It's so they can like fashion their time cube to go where they need it to go. And
go to like the point where.
Wait, I thought Batman was going to fix it.
No, he just installed the drive shaft.
I don't understand why Batman doesn't just use his intellect to discern the moment in time when.
It's odd that he doesn't do that.
He should be able to figure it out, right?
I agree. So they do it, and they go back, and they wind up, instead of being in the WildCATs universe, they end up in Metropolis now. But it's still being under siege by weapons and entities that Epoch has pulled throughout time and like thrown at the city.
So they got there like a little bit too late.
It's such a chaotic mess that I thought like they're gonna have to go back in time and make it so this event never even happened.
Right.
But they're not. They actually
no, Grant would never undermine his own story.
No. So unless he wanted to like make a point. But he's not, so they actually just leave it the way it is. So
that shit happened.
Yep.
This battle in Metropolis.
I like that weird silver brontosaurus right there.
Yeah, that's just like
cool.
Shooting lasers.
I'm here.
So I like this brain ship.
Yeah, but like again, draw the coolest, most imaginative thing you could think of, and they're like,
that's better.
This is a little better.
Yeah, this is
I used all my great ideas on that page. So. Then we meet the current incarnation of Epoch, who has had 5 whole days to piece together his new godhood throughout time. And so he's this, like, face mixed up with wires and...
Like crystals?
Crap. Yeah. And it says, like, he took control of the universe on the 2nd day after bonding with the ultimate weapon of the 68th century, which was a self-evolving supercomputer / Big Bang bomb. And so now he is one with the Omega Attractor, which makes him, like, the most powerful thing in the universe and also, like, a bomb that can recreate the universe. And he can see and now he's like Dr. Manhattan, where he can see all things and all realities, but he's so...
Why doesn't he see the Justice League coming?
But because...
If you'll excuse me a moment, I have to watch this woman shower.
Because I'm also a creep. He does see the Justice League and how they're going to defeat him.
Okay.
Which is why the ace in the hole for the Justice League is they then sneak off and tell the WildCATs to go and defeat Epoch because he couldn't predict them because they came from another reality.
Fucking what?
Yeah.
It's the reality I'm currently sitting in, but I can't see the future or the past of it.
Well, because now
they defeat him I'm assuming, because
they moved,
predicting the end of this book, they defeat him in the reality that he's in.
Yes,
so
in
it
DC.
Happens in his future.
Well,
so why can't he see it?
Oh, that's a good question. So the only thing that's actually kind of cool about this this story
is that Grifter rides a motorcycle.
Because he's a badass. Now, it's that Batman and Grifter basically become friends.
Okay.
And Grifter and Batman like team up, and Batman at one point he says like, "So Grifter, we're gonna fight these guys. How good are you?" And Grifter's like, "Me? I'm the best there is at what I do." And you're like, "Fuck you! You just stole Wolverine's thing. What was that all about?" But Batman says, "If you are, then you won't need the guns." And Grifter's like,
"No, but the best that what
the
I
best
do
thing
is
I
use
do
guns.
shoot people with my guns." No, but he goes like, "Touche, Batman. You've played right into my hubris." And so he holsters the guns. Then he and Batman team up and fight like all these monsters. Like
he doesn't just shoot Batman and be like, "Hold that thought."
Yeah, no. He and Batman like make quick work of these cool robot things.
Okay.
And when all is said and done, and they only have a few seconds to get back to the reality, or they'll disappear. Or who gives a shit. They kiss. Yes. Drifter pushes his mask out of the way, and Batman, of course, has his mouth already exposed, and they make out.
It's funny though because both of them could smile, but you'll never see it.
Yeah. What's funny is, they both have like a mutual respect for each other, and Batman's like, "You're really good. You should drop the gun thing because guns are stupid." And Grifter's like, "I'll tell you what. You can have one of my guns and put it in one of your weird trophy rooms because I guarantee you're one of those weirdos who collects everything." And you're like, "Yeah, that's hilarious." So,
I thought you were going to say they look at each other and they nod and say nothing and then walk away.
That was done in the JLA Avengers crossover, which to much better effect.
So the art has gotten considerably worse.
Well, yeah, because they're getting sick of it. But we also need to demonstrate that like because part of their plan is Maul, we need you to get as big as you can and punch Epoch in the face, and Maul's like, "No, you can't. Like, I can't do that." And then like
not as big as I can, guys. No,
I won't revert. And so, and then they're like, "No, because we'll tether you to reality," and like that doesn't matter. So then they're literally
does he do it?
The Justice League. Oh yeah, he does.
He gets as big as he can.
Yeah, he gets huge, and then they fix him.
He became so big
and so powerful as a result. Epoch is like, "I know that it's you, Justice League. You're here to defeat me, but I've already calculated all your moves." Like, "You're not the Justice League. What is this?
What the fuck are you?"
Kids, go home.
And then they just like punch him in the face, and then and then they defeat him.
Wow.
It looks like Grifter shoots him.
Yeah. Oh, everybody does their thing. Like Zealot slashes him with their swords, and Grifter shoots him with his guns, and
because Batman's not there to tell him not to.
Yeah.
I had a third gun the whole time.
Oh no, he just holsters them. He doesn't like throw them away.
Oh.
But so they defeat him, and then they use the modified time cube, which has been augmented with like the knowledge from the like crack-looking entities, to shoot the Lord of Time with some like chronal blast of blah 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 that puts him into a time prison.
Or time prison.
Yeah,
it's called a coma.
Yeah, it's
called they fucking kill him.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they kill him. Yeah. So the time ripple effect is happening, and they're like, "Okay," and, Void's like, "We gotta go," and they're like, "All right, nice job." And
what do you mean they gotta go? They gotta physically walk across the like ripple. Like
that's literally what they're doing.
Like they could see it. Like, oh look, there's our time over there. I'm just gonna walk over there and be in my time.
No, Void uses her teleportation powers to like vibrate at a certain frequency that gets them to where they need to be.
All right,
because she can do that.
Here's the thing: we can't stay with them.
So now they're two separate worlds,
or they always were.
Well, they're starting to be.
The point is that they got there through time,
or
in the barn.
I'm sorry, where's the WildCat universe?
It's in the barn.
Anyway, would you team up with them?
They go back and the city's like wrecked, and Superman's like, "Okay, Justice League, let's go clean up the city." And so they leave. And then the epilogue is that like Epoch thinks that he's still where he was, like being Lord of Time and Master of everything, but he's just a face because he didn't, after all the like changes and augmentations throughout time that he used, like he didn't need a body because he has like wires and crystals and shit. No. But then he got like punched and stabbed and blasted, so now he's just a face.
That's the Mongol ending.
Yeah, where like Mongol like is trapped by the Black Mercy. Yeah, it's the same fucking thing. Only then it says basically that like he dies. Like the last thing he thinks is that he's still Lord of Time and that he took over everything. But it says like it's his final thought before he fades into oblivion. and you're like, hey, Grant Morrison, did you have authority from DC to kill Epoch in this bullshit crossover? And Grant Morrison would probably say to that, like, you didn't even know he fucking existed until you read this crossover, so eat my ass.
Well, not only that,
Fair enough.
Got me. Yeah.
Here's the thing. This happens at some point in time. This is just how he ends. You can still tell stories about it.
This is like a billion years in the
dies.
future,
Exactly,
guys.
and not only that, like, he had 5 years to do that. So in the 5 years, maybe he went back into, like, 1998 and fought the Justice League, or maybe in the...
Wait, 5 years or 5 days?
It said 5... Oh, yeah, 5 days, I'm sorry. But 5 days to a Lord of Time is
I know,
like
it's
an eternity.
infinite.
Yeah, I mean, they could always fight a version of him before he did all this.
Exactly.
Like, that's the thing with time-traveling characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they never can die because... it turns out, like, they also went to Right Now.
Yeah.
Earlier.
And they
before you
didn't know, and
defeated
it was before he had, like, access to all things, so he
Yeah.
didn't know he was going to be defeated here.
him. Yeah.
As long as you defeat him and not kill him in that story, you win. You get to do it.
Yep.
Oh, I
And,
kill him in that story. I kill him in every story.
Well,
Yeah, he always dies.
Well,
It's
you
fine.
can't die many times, though. That doesn't
make any
doesn't
sense.
make any sense.
You can't do that. Oh, you just did a recreation of the cover of this book. JLA WildCATs sucks on toast, and let me tell you, what's hilarious. It's funny. This book sucks. And Grant Morrison clearly didn't care, and it's so stupid, and it's like offensive that they built you out of like $6, which was
Ouch.
Which, by the way, is how much like the average comic book costs nowadays, anyway. But what's
That's a short book too. Like,
Oh,
that's not
yeah.
a lot.
No, and what's
That's
amazing
maybe
is
three issues.
No, this
Yeah.
is like maybe 2?
It's maybe 2.
Worth of, like, 2 normal
it's
issues?
probably 48 pages. So
Yeah.
it's like no, it's probably 6 pages longer than a regular issue.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And what's great is, like, only a few short years later, they're all part of the same universe, and then this story doesn't even this story makes even less sense.
Yep.
And then it gets rebooted, so the story didn't even happen. It's great. It's delicious when they do crossovers with companies that then get bought by that company, and so it's like, hey, we're meeting for the first time. Until we meet again for the first time. Like, I would love it if Grant Morrison had still been writing Justice League when they did the whole fucking like
and he fucking
acquisition.
references this goddamn
And he's
book.
like, "Hi, Majestic. Remember that time we fought Epoch?" And the readers are like, "Are you shitting me? You're gonna have the balls?" And Grant Morrison's like, "Of course I do.
I'm Grant Morrison.
Present
Everything. It doesn't matter if it was fucking
Yeah, if it was
100
from-
years ago or 2
Or
years
yesterday,
ago.
as long as I wrote it or I remember it, it happened."
Of course,
it's
I have the
important.
balls.
Count the references in this episode. So JLA WildCATs, you know what? I'm not going to put a link in the description box for this video, so don't buy it. Just don't.
Oh, no, you have
burn.
to.
Fine. It's not.
Here's the thing, Sal. You already did in the future.
Oh my God! I am Lord of
Or the
Time.
past. I don't know.
No. I will say this though, like, I guarantee it's not collected anywhere.
Right? Yeah.
But don't worry, if you're like me, you can get this at like in the dollar bin at your local comic book store.
Did they do any other Wildcats crossovers?
Oh,
with
yeah.
anyone else?
Oh yeah, WildCATs X-Men.
Of course. Okay.
They did like a tangential one where Gen 13 crossed over with Spider-Man,
Oh, that's
is-
cool.
All
which
right.
we could do as like a PS to this episode. That's how fucking stupid and short it is.
Okay.
But wait, they literally did Wildcats and X-Men, and they didn't just like stare across the page at each
Go.
other and be like,
You're
What?
just me.
Really? Quick, when were you invented? 1962. How about you? You win.
Well, but what we invent it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Who even remembers or cares?
Let's just say you win. But no, the WildCats did a bunch of crossovers.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Image was happy to do crossovers, and they did crossovers with themselves, and it didn't even make sense.
Wildcats and the Max.
Kind of. They did a Mars Attacks Image,
Oh.
where Topps Comics Mars Attacks
Yeah.
from that
that movie?
but also from the comics that had been around, and the card series as well. But Mars attacks the Image universe, and so like Shadowhawk and the Max and Spawn and the Wildcats and Youngblood and everybody fight the Martians
It's amazing.
They're too easily
and
defeated.
Savage Dragon, and like in that story, the Martians try to convince Savage Dragon that he's a sleeper agent that they created
Huh.
to facilitate the invasion.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a lie.
It's fun. How do they communicate
Right.
when they're just going?
Oh, it's through a speech bubble that like it has like some weird shit around it.
Yeah, but wouldn't he be like, yeah, but I don't talk like that. I don't talk.
No, they
use
things.
How could
like
that be?
The movie takes liberties with the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I was gonna say,
it's not
like
the movie Mars. It's the
they look the same.
They look the same,
and they're basically the same.
So the movie came after?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was the first.
Oh no, the movie is just like, wow, they made a movie of Mars. For me, I'm like, are you shitting me? You're making a movie of Mars Attacks, and it's kind of accurate. Like the saucers and the weapons and the designs.
That really explains a lot about Mars Attacks. I'm like, how did this movie get made?
Yeah.
Like, how did this idea? Like, this is not like this is a very specific.
It's very
thing.
specific. No, and it's part
You
of.
want to know how that movie got made? Drugs.
Just Tim Burton, who like basically is drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, the Wildcats did a lot of crossovers.
That's a guilty pleasure movie for me.
Mars Attacks?
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's fun.
You know, it's funny. I lose interest about 2/3 of the way through. I go, oh, shouldn't this be over?
Yeah.
And then when you when you end it, and I'm like, these are the protagonists you ended the movie with. Eat it. Like that dude with negative charisma, and Natalie Portman, who, as it turns out, like literally can't act unless you have the greatest director of all time working on them. Like, that's it. She's just, hey, I'm the president's daughter. And the actor the guy whose name no one knows, who's literally her but a boy, it's like, hey, I think we should all live in teepees.
Yeah. He was in Solar Babies.
See, there you go. JLE Wildcats, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you guys next week with another
I think he was in Solar Babies. I might be wrong.
See, that's the thing. He's so fucking forgettable.
Actually.
Get out of here, Gunther. Nobody cares. See you next week.